What's going on, guys? Thanks for checking out the video. Just a little quick disclaimer so everybody knows. I'm actually putting the downpipe on today, and I'm gonna run the Cobb Stage 2 map for probably a week or two. If you follow my Instagram, things aren't lining up right now because I have a lot of videos pending. So there's a lot of content that's just like on hold right now. So as you're seeing this video, some of those have probably already been released. Literally have everything I need to get to the same power I was on the silver WRX. Over 350 wheel horsepower here very shortly. So as of this video, I'm just gonna be putting in the downpipe. I just put this on so it's one less thing to do when I go full flex fuel and everything like that. First thing we're gonna do is jack the car up, get on a jack stand, and get these splash guards and everything off so we can get up underneath and get to everything we need. So here's the downpipe bolts. There's 1, 2, 3, and one on the back side. The one back here is the hardest to get to. It's very hard to get to. These are 22 millimeter. If you want, you can use a adjustable wrench if you're very careful. And then here's your ground strap, so make sure you also disconnect that before you take this whole thing down. All right, got the first O2 sensor out now. So the older the car gets and the more miles you get on it, the more rusty and stuff these are gonna get. But just remember, you know, if you end up doing this, just know it's not that bad. It really isn't that bad. Well, we rounded off our first bolt using a 14 millimeter. That's exactly the size of the bolt on the car that we need to take off, and we still rounded it. So sometimes that happens, which is great. And it's of course the one that's way up in the back that's hard to get to. I have a bolt extractor. If it comes down to that, I'd really like to not have to use that. But if we have to, we got to do what we got to do. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my other set and see if I can get that thing off of there. So here's the bolt that goes on the exhaust studs, right? You can see there. Here's the bolt for the stud, okay? Now you can see how even with the standard 14 millimeter socket that's supposed to go in here, it started rounding out the bolt. Okay, both of the bottom ones that are easy to get to came right off. I don't know if you're ready for this. Okay, so we rounded out the top nut using the exact same socket, the exact same 6-point socket I used on these two nuts. Used on that one, and it rounded it. So I got out my bolt extractor. Here's the bolt extractor, just in case you didn't know what it looks like. Specifically for a 14 millimeter size. Tried using it back there and it slipped off. Here's where it gets really fun. I put it on this bolt and it just kept slipping. So now we have this bolt completely rounded. So as a last ditch effort, I go and I get inverted Torx bits. It's a Torx bit that's made for the stud. Here's the stud. As soon as I put this onto the stud and I started turning it, which is what that's freaking made for, it immediately snapped off.
It's not that bad. It really isn't that bad.
Oh my goodness. My soul just left my body when that snapped. Holy crap. Look at that. What ended up needing to happen was, this is for a 14. It was so rounded that was not working. So I went a step down and went to this one, which is made for a 13 or a 12. A 13, I believe, yeah, because half inch, so that would be for a 13. And it's that rounded that I got it over just a little bit, just like that. And I took this freaking hammer, and I mean, I just pounded it on there as hard as I could. Obviously, it was still in the car. And it just got just enough bite. Good news, this one's off as well. This was the one on the back side that was giving me trouble. So now I make a decision. Do I go to Subaru and get these stupid nuts again? I think I'm gonna go to Lowe's and get new hardware for myself. So I got extremely lucky because the downpipe that I got is from 1320 Performance, and normally it comes with 2 gaskets, 4 bolts, and 4 nuts to be used for an aftermarket downpipe. But I bought the OEM connector, the OEM adapter, to use the factory catback so I can utilize the stock mid-pipe and stock mufflers, and that came with its own bolts and nuts. I got 2 extra nuts, which means I can discard this one, 2 good factory nuts, and now I have 2 good new nuts. I'll put these on the top, which hopefully they're stainless steel. Hopefully they're a little bit stronger than these were. Put these on the top, put those on the bottom, and I'll be good to go because I don't need one of these. All right, guys, the downpipe is in, connected to the stock catback. Everything is good to go. Here we are, got it in, finally. It's dark out now because we ended up leaving to go over to a friend's house for a little bit. And so yeah, but we're all done. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna change our tune.